Imagine this. You're 18 years old, it's 2 a.m., freezing cold, your hands are numb, you're lying in the dirt and someone is screaming in your face. Get up, move, you think war will wait for you. You stand up, exhausted, broken, but you don't stop. This isn't just a job. This is a complete transformation of your life. Today I'm taking you on a journey. From a scared 18-year-old recruit to one of the most elite warriors on the planet. And at every level, you'll learn what it actually takes to get there. Watch till the end and you won't see yourself the same way again. Let's begin. Level 1, you enlist right arrow private. It all starts with one decision. I'm joining the army. Most recruits are between 17 and 21. Some are searching for purpose, others want to test their limits. Then comes basic combat training. 10 weeks. But honestly, these will feel like the longest 10 weeks of your life. Waking up at 4 a.m. Endless running. Obstacle courses. Weapon drills. And the hardest part, discipline. Here they break you down to rebuild you. Real example. There's a training exercise called the gas chamber. You're sent into a room filled with tear gas. You're wearing a mask, then the instructor says, "Remove your mask." Instantly your eyes burn, you can't breathe, panic hits. But you have to stand your ground. Why? Because on the battlefield, panic equals death. At this level, you learn one critical skill. Control your fear. If you fail here, it's okay. But if you keep fighting, you graduate as a private. And now you officially belong to the army. Be honest, could you survive the gas chamber? Comment yes or no, let's see who's mentally tough. Level 2, you survive right arrow specialist. Now you're more confident. You know the basics. But this is where the real work begins. As a specialist, you're usually around 20-24 years old. Now you're not just following orders. You're mastering a skill. Your role could be medic, sniper, engineer, communications expert. And your training becomes highly specific. For example, a combat medic doesn't just apply bandages. They save lives while bullets are flying. Real story. In Afghanistan, a U.S. Army medic treated and saved multiple soldiers under active fire, even after being wounded himself. That's the specialist level. Skill under pressure. Here you learn how to stay calm in chaos. Because in war, nothing is ever perfect. And one more thing. Mistakes now cost lives. If you grow here, you move to the next level. Level 3, you lead right arrow sergeant. Now everything changes. You're no longer responsible just for yourself. You're responsible for others. At this stage, you're usually 24-30 years old. You're a sergeant, a leader. You command a team of 8-12 soldiers. And they look at you for everything. Decisions, direction, survival. Your training evolves. Leadership schools, advanced combat scenarios, real-world deployments. Now it's not just about fighting. It's about keeping others alive. Picture this. Your team walks into an ambush. Gunfire from every direction. Your radio is down. The higher command is silent. Now what? It's just you. Your decision determines who makes it home. In one Iraq War incident, a sergeant exposed himself to enemy fire to draw attention away from his team and get them to safety. That's leadership. Not giving orders, but taking the biggest risk. Here you learn the true weight of responsibility. If you succeed here, your journey moves to a different world. Because from this point on, not everyone makes it. Most soldiers stop here. Because the next step isn't just the army. It's special forces. The Green Berets. Selection rate. Sometimes up to 70% fail. Yeah, 70%. So here's the question. Are you part of the 30%? Be real, would you quit or push through? Comment quit or push. Level 4, you enter Special Forces right arrow Green Beret. This is where everything changes. You're no longer just a soldier. You're trying to become something rare. A Green Beret. But first you have to pass selection. It's called SFAS, Special Forces Assessment and Selection. And it's not designed to train you. It's designed to eliminate you. No one tells you exactly what's coming. No fixed schedule. Very little sleep. Constant pressure. Your age here is usually late 20s to early 30s. You're already experienced. But that doesn't matter. Because here rank doesn't save you. Only performance does. One of the most feared events. Land navigation. You're alone. Deep in the woods. Given a map and coordinates. No GPS. No help. No second chances. You walk for hours, sometimes days. Blisters. Hunger. Exhaustion. And the worst part, you don't even know if you're doing it right. This phase is psychological warfare. Because special forces aren't looking for the strongest. They're looking for the ones who don't quit. Then comes something called Team Week. You're put in a group. Given impossible tasks. Heavy logs to carry. Long distances. Zero rest. And here's the twist. They're not just watching what you do. They're watching how you treat others. Do you help your team? Or do you only care about yourself? Real insight. Many physically strong candidates fail here. Because they don't work as a team. And weaker candidates pass. Because they refuse to leave anyone behind. That's what special forces are built on. If you somehow make it through selection, you're not done. Not even close. Now comes the qualification course. 1 to 2 years of training. Weapons. Languages. Unconventional warfare. Survival skills. Yes, languages. Because Green Berets don't just fight wars. They build alliances. Train foreign armies. Operate behind enemy lines. Real example. In Afghanistan, small Green Beret teams worked with local forces, turning the tide against much larger enemy groups. 12 men. Working in hostile territory. Changing the outcome of entire regions. That's the level you're entering. And when you finally earn the Green Beret, you've proven one thing. You can operate where others can't. What do you learn here? Adaptability. Because in special forces, no plan survives. Only people who adapt do. At this point, would you still keep going, or is this where you tap out, comments still in, or I'm done? Level 5, you become Elite Right Arrow Delta Force. Now we're entering a different universe. Even among Green Berets. This is the top. First, Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta. Delta Force. There's no public application. No open process. You get invited. Handpicked. Observed. And if they see something in you, you get a shot. Your age here. Usually 30 plus. Years of experience. Multiple deployments. Proven under pressure. Then comes selection. And it's brutal in a different way. Long-distance marches. Alone. Carrying heavy weight. No crowd. No noise. No motivation. Just you and your thoughts. One wrong turn. One wrong decision. You're out. And again. No feedback. No explanation. Because Delta is looking for something very specific. Self-discipline without supervision. Then comes training. Close quarters combat. Hostage rescue. Precision shooting. You're trained to operate in environments where seconds decide everything. Airplanes. Buildings. Urban war zones. Real-world example. Operation Eagle Claw Iran hostage crisis may have failed. But it led to the creation and evolution of units like Delta Force. Later missions. Highly classified. But Delta operators have been involved in capturing high-value targets and executing some of the most precise operations in modern warfare. These are the people sent when failure is not an option. At this level you learn precision. Because now, there's no room for error. Not even 1%. But even here, there's one more level. Because someone has to make the calls. Someone has to control the chaos. Someone who doesn't just execute missions, but designs them. And that's where we're going next. Command. Strategy. Power. Level 6, you command operations right arrow colonel. Now you're no longer the one kicking doors. You used to pull the trigger. Now you decide who pulls it. You're the one deciding which doors get kicked. This is the level of colonels, generals. Your age. Usually late 30s to 50s. Decades of experience. Multiple deployments. You've seen war from the ground. And now you see it from above. At this level, the battlefield isn't just a street or a building. Entire countries become your battlefield. Your training shifts again. War colleges. Strategic planning. Intelligence coordination. Diplomacy. Because modern warfare isn't just bullets. It's politics, timing, alliances, and information. Now imagine this. There's a high-value target in a hostile city. Civilians nearby. Enemy forces are active. Media watching. One wrong move. And it becomes an international crisis. You're the one making that call. One decision and people live or disappear. Do you send Delta? Do you wait? Do you strike now or never? Real example. The operation that led to Osama bin Laden. This wasn't just a raid. It was years of intelligence. Countless briefings. And one final decision at the top. Green Beret, SEALs, intelligence agencies. All coordinated under leadership that had to be right. Because failure wasn't just tactical. It was global. At this level, mistakes don't show up immediately. They show up in headlines. That's what this level carries. The weight of consequences. At this stage you learn. Clarity under pressure. Because confusion at the top. Costs live at every level below. But here's the truth most people don't see. The higher you go, the lonelier it gets. Fewer people understand your decisions. And every choice stays with you. Final reflection, full journey payoff. Let's rewind for a second. You started as an 18-year-old. Confused, nervous, unproven. You learned to control fear as a private. You mastered skill under pressure as a specialist. You carried others as a sergeant. You adapted beyond limits as a Green Beret. You achieved precision as Delta Force. And now, you carry the weight of entire missions as a leader. This isn't just a military journey. It's a transformation of mindset. Because at every level, the real battle was never just outside. It was inside you. Fear, doubt, fatigue, pressure. And the question was always the same. Do you quit or do you continue? If this video pushed you even a little, hit like, it tells me you want more content like this. And subscribe because the next videos will go even deeper into elite forces, real missions, and untold stories. Now I want to hear from you. Which level do you think you could realistically reach? Be honest. Private, sergeant, or special forces? Comment below. I read everything. Most people watch stories like this and move on. But a few feel something. A pull. A question in the back of their mind. What am I capable of really? And maybe that's where your journey begins. Not in the army, but in the decisions you make starting today. Stay sharp.